I turn my back, you laugh. Hey, how could you lie to my face? People claim that they be loyal, they be taking up space. See my broski lose his heart when he was fighting that case. Took so many yells, I'm not going back to those days. I'ma treat you how you treat me, do you like how it tastes? Shawty, use it, can't treat you like my ace. I got way too many problems to be worried, I'm straight. Me and Craig had to watch for the Jakes. On the road, this crazy, I get 80 a show. Say my money, stack it up, it look like I'm foreign cars, driving fast, I never done this before. Get drown out my problems, let me When up and up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror now, I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing.
S-T-R-O. Yeah. How many of y'all came to win? Oh, they action my...
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, it was a common sight in the 80s and 90s, not quite as frequent since, but it's back. Playoff football in the Bay Area here at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the San Francisco 49ers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
3 quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading him out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural, Deshaun Watson.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
That's how we do, D. That's how we do.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Tighten up, tighten up. Pull it together. 54 miles. Check.
Running on first down, Eckler. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
With DeAndre Hopkins, I think anyone who's calling plays for him has zero limitations. And what I mean by that is he's a guy you can move outside, you can move him inside, play him on the left side, on the right side. It doesn't matter. Some guys, they have to have the ball in a certain spot. Not Hopkins. Long, short, intermediate. He just wants the football. And then after that, he usually does some pretty good damage with run after catch.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Let's go.
So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll have Jimmy G calling the shots. Grew up in the northern suburbs of Chicago, went to Eastern Illinois. Jimmy Garoppolo.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week.
Here we go.
But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an
And a
interception.
pick.
Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Throwing on second down. Garoppolo, and he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They started on the ground with Eckler. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. A look now at the starters on this 49er defense. They were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
This defense has a lot to be proud of coming off of the game they played last week. When you only give up 14 points in a game, not only do you give your team a chance to win, you fully expect to win because you figure your offense is going to score more than that.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. A shotgun snap for Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. What we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position number 1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here.
They'll run again with Samuels on first down. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And he hits his target, Deshaun Hamilton. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
18 yards, first down, Niners.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
On first down, this is Geis. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. In last week's game for Kittle, there are the numbers. 6 catches, 92 yards, and a touchdown.
And he was able to haul that pass in there, but he knows he's got a tough task ahead of him. This unit in the top 5 in the NFL against the pass. He's going to have to really work hard to get open.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
This will be play number 8 on the drive. It's 3rd and goal. Garoppolo. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 23. Off of play action, it's Watson. He gets it to Thomas. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first. Texans football to start quarter 2. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
56, Mike, 56, right there.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson going deep for Hopkins. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, he was just trying to contain DeAndre Hopkins, and he got a little too close.
And because of his ability to line up in different spots on the field and come at you from different angles, different guys have to cover him, and all of them have the same issue. How do you do it without interfering? In this case, it didn't get done.
Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Powerful running. Call it no gain on the dump off, and it's 3rd down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. This to Jarwin. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, Eckler. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
56, Mike, 56, right there, 56.
Watson on 3rd down. Complete. It's Johnson. And they'll rally and stop him short of the first down at about the 6. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that will tie us at 3-3. Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10 at the 40. Here's Garoppolo to throw. Off to Geis on the screen. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
A throw taken in by Hamilton, and he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 45-yard line.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On first down, it's Samuels. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there. Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Jalen Samuels with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion, anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Going on the ground with Eckler. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler, and he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles, rolling the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense, because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Houston. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop. A man down on the return. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Thought they were going to force a 4th down. Instead, P.I. gives them the first.
And that's frustrating, because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
Now this throw caught left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend, because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. He's got this complete to Hamilton. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go.
Garoppolo now. Pretty amazing. 14 of 16 throwing the ball. It's 1st and 10. Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. And he whips that one incomplete there. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
Here we go.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Still a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
A chance for us to look now at this 49ers defense. And a big reason they've got the lead here in the first half, some of these hits we're going to see here.
Almost like they're a group of superheroes, right? Something out of a comic book. Boom, pow, biff. They are really playing well and making things happen on their side of the ball.
Taking me back to my childhood a bit.
There you go. You had a collection, didn't you?
I did. A running play there, going to get 10 and a quick 1st down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Watson. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins in the final seconds of the first half as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
Terrific. Touchdown. I know we've got a game now.
Yeah, I think anytime you go into the second half down just 1 or 2 scores, you feel not where you want to be, but in a pretty good spot.
And I think for most teams, when they go into the half in this situation, it's not a lot of adjusting going on. It's much more, all right, guys, let's just play a little bit better than we did in the first half.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Setting up the screen, this is Samuels. So we've hit, well, who needs a halftime? Am I right? Let's resume play. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you termed that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Here we go. Left 80! Check 40 yards.
On first down, Samuels. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards.
They're trying to show you they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So the 14 yards actually takes them from 143 to the other for first and 10. Now a give running right is Samuels. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Carl Nassib there on the tackle. On play action, now Garoppolo. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Fifth catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now here's a throw that's taken in by Tajay Sharp. 18 yards, first down Niners.
Here we go. 180!
Check 55 for Mike. Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
He's down inside the 10 to the 8. And it comes on a gain of 8.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On second and a couple, Garoppolo. He'll find Moreau here. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw it, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. And across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Jalen Samuels, his second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Deshaun Watson making his way back out, the focus of our player spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a...
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. It's complete to Fuller. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson. Got an open man, the tight end, Jarwin. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off the draw, here's Johnson. Credit the tackle there to Jordan Lewis. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. On 3rd down, Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Dee Ford, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. This is brought in at the 21. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. On 2nd down, Samuels. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Now a throw here to his running back. Give him 6 on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now Watson's throw is taken in by QT. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Watson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. This is a counter play. Eckler. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Back now here in Santa Clara. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. From the 27, Watson, and the catch made by Johnson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 17-yard line. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. He's got Fuller. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They go back to the ground now with Eckler. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, and defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, this from 33. Bailey's kick is good. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a 1-score game at 20-13. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Geis with a carry on 2nd down. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Garoppolo going to try and throw on 3rd. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. Garoppolo to his tight end, Kittle, for a Niner 1st down.
Here we go. Here we go.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. That one into the hands of his tailback, Samuels.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. J.J. Watt in there to get him, and on the season now that is 9 sacks for him. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Garoppolo finding his tight end Kittle, and he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Garoppolo looks to throw. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. J.J. Watt has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They could put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout.
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Quincy Wilson with the INT. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Back onto the field comes this offense led by George Kittle. And we see here the productivity certainly has decreased from the start of the game, but sometimes people forget these tight ends, they can do more than just catch the football.
That is so true, because now when things start to happen and you're not getting the ball as much, maybe you change your focus on the game. Maybe you become a very good decoy. Maybe you block a little bit more. But sometimes you have such a great first half, you expect it to continue to roll, and it doesn't just happen that easily in the second.
Now, they have been able to shut him down, at least as of late. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Geis. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Boy, tight game like this, 4th quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll try and get it with Geis. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down.
Well, they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another 1st down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait, because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. This is Samuels. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a 1st down, 49ers.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
That is caught. It's Tajay Sharp. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
They'll get this to Sharp on the jet sweep. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Now, I'm assuming they're keeping this football on the ground, right?
I would think so because you're looking at the clock. That's in your favor. You're looking at the geography of the field, right? Where you are, that's in your favor as well. Keep it on the ground. Keep pounding. Run that clock down. You got everything working in your direction.
And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they look for that final touchdown to salt this one away. And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Darius Geis, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. You can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So Deshaun Watson in the offense. Down by 2 touchdowns. 1:53 remaining. Field goals, useless at this point. They need 2 touchdowns, and they need them in short order. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. This to Jarwin. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. The clock still runs. We're at 90 seconds now. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. Well, he's going to be stopped short of a first down as they'll get to him at about the 33. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. They will indeed snap it to Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And unable to break away, they stop him a few yards shy. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Garoppolo looking to throw. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. On play action, it's Garoppolo. This will be caught by Brown. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
On 1st down, Garoppolo completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. A.J. Brown with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So the victory here for San Francisco, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
Dash, never know, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I got you. I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, no man. Oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash. 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash. Yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle this. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, is glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, no man. Oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash. slept on the team, now they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve for the D like a turkey, or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call us up making a name. I put on the Jets, the coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just try not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash. Put on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash.
The young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within, I stuff for real.